Perhaps what we are most familiar with when we think of Parshas Bechukosai is the terrible tochacha, the rebuke, the punishments, the curses which we are given as a result of our straying from the path of Torah, that God warns us that lest we not follow in his ways, he will bestow upon us terrible, terrible things and very great tragedies, great challenges. Right in the middle of that lengthy passage is a fascinating Rashi. Because one of the curses which the Torah describes is that we will literally be frantically running away from our enemies, and in the process of doing so, one will fall over their brother. And Rashi explains this means quite literally, we will be running away from our enemies, and we will be so frantic that we will not even recognize, we will fall over our fellow Jew next to us. However, then Rashi explains that perhaps, based on the Medrash, that there perhaps is another explanation. That maybe it doesn't mean literally falling over one another, but what it means is we will be falling over each other's averos. We will be held accountable for the sins, not only of my own sins, but also for the sins of my neighbor, for the sins of my fellow Jew. Why? Because all Jews, because all of the Jewish people are raven zelazeh, are responsible for one another. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, Zichrono Livracha, asks a powerful question. He says, we have this principle of arevus, this concept of being responsible for each other. But why here? Why does the Torah teach me this concept, which is a powerful concept and a very positive concept, that I have a responsibility to make sure my fellow Jew shakes lulos, has dalet kosos, wears tefillin, etc. That's a positive manner. Why teach it here? Explains Rabbi Sacks, it teaches us something unique about our connection as a Jewish people. Because, he says, every nation of the world, we go with the demographics around us. If the economy is good, then it's good for all of us. If the neighborhood is safe, then it's safe for all of us and we're secure. And if, God forbid, the opposite, then that's true as well. So what makes us unique in this concept of arevus beyond any other society? Explains Rabbi Sacks the context in which the Torah is teaching. It's teaching us as we're running away, we're being expelled from the land. We're being cast into gullus. God is throwing us away, so to speak, and spreading us out amongst the nations of the world and the different countries of the world. And yet, says the Torah, in that point in time, don't forget, Kol Yisrael Arev Zelazeh. All Jews, wherever you are, whether you are all living in the same shtetl, whether you're in the same neighborhood in Eretz Yisrael, or whether you are on one side of the world and the other Jews on the other side of the world, what makes us unique is that it's not only that we go by our society, but that we are intrinsically linked to one another. Even if we have nothing to do with each other, if we're opposite ends of the world, we are intrinsically linked. And ultimately, that's why in this context, the Bechukosai, the end of the Tochacha here, Hashem says that eventually, even amidst all of this, eventually I will remember my promise to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. I will have Rachmanos on you to ultimately return you to that land. And therefore, says Rabbi Sacks, that's why the Torah is specifically teaching us this concept here. Because it's the uniqueness, it's the unique element of being a Jew, the Jewish people, that links us regardless where we are, specifically when we are being cast and spread out. Specifically then the Torah says, don't forget that you are one, that you are connected. Shekol Yisrael Areven Zelazeh.